Hello, welcome once again to another week for the French Liga. I'm going to share with you my predictions for the upcoming game week, which starts on Wednesday. Alright, then we're going to head straight into it, and we're going to start with Angers versus Stade Rennais. And for this game, I'm going to have this game end in a draw. I think this one is going to end in a 1-1 draw. Otherwise, it's a 0-0 draw, I believe. So I'm expecting both teams not to score and under 2.5 goals. Alright. Another double chance that we can definitely take this one as well. Angers are Stade Rennais to win and both teams not to score. My predicted scoreline is 1-1. Right. And so these are my predictions for this game. Angers versus Stade Rennais. Angers being at home, I'm expecting this game to end in a draw. In terms of a double chance, you could go that both teams to score no and under 2.5 goals. You can say you can on a double chance you can say Angers or Stade Rennais to win and both teams not to score. My predicted scoreline is 1-1 for this game. Alright. I'm moving right along to our next game, which is Lyon versus Entree. Lyon versus Entree. Entree won the last game they were at home. And this game, I'm expecting Lyon being at home. They went behind when they played Stade Rennais last game. And so, but this game, I'm expecting them to go back out front. And I'm expecting that they should win this game. So I'm going to have them winning this game by 2-1, both teams to score. Alright, and so in terms of a double chance, I'm going to say Lyon accelerate to win and both teams to score. My predicted scoreline is for Lyon to win this 2-1. If you want to go in the handicap system, you can go and bet for Lyon to win by a goal. Well, you'd have to bet for if Lyon, if the game ends 2-1, then it would be a draw. Alright? So in terms of Lyon to win by a goal, no, yeah. You can go ahead and bet for them to win by a goal. But if it does end 2-1, that would mean that it'd be a draw on the handicap system. So going back to my predictions for the Lyon versus Entree game, I'm expecting Lyon to win. I'm expecting both teams to score. And if you want to do a double chance against Lyon or Entree to win and both teams to score, my predicted scoreline is 2-1 in favor of Lyon. And on the handicap system, if you don't want to bet the correct score, you can have Lyon winning by a goal. Alright? Moving right along to our next game, which is Monaco versus Troyes. Alright, Monaco versus Troyes. Monaco had a 1-1 draw against PSG in their last game, and so them being at home, they should have the confidence to come out and take the victory here. Because the results, I'm going to select them to win, and I'm not expecting both teams to score in this game, and so therefore I'm going to have either, if you want to do double chances, say Monaco or Troyes to win and both teams not to score. And my predicted scoreline is for this game is that I'm expecting Monaco to win by 2 goals. If you want to go in the handicap system, you can go and bet for Monaco to win by a goal. Alright? Pick that up. Monaco to win by a goal. Alright? My predictions for the Monaco versus Troyes game, I'm expecting Monaco to win, both teams not to score. In terms of a double chance, I'd say Monaco or Troyes to win and both teams not to score. Predicted scoreline, I have Monaco winning here 2-0. If you don't want to bet the correct scoreline, you can always go in the handicap system and bet for Monaco to win by a goal. Alright? So our next game for this game week in the French Ligue is Montpellier versus Ajaccio. I guess that's the last game. And so Montpellier won their last game away from home at Britus 7-0. Surprisingly, I never expected them to score so many goals. I think I had that one being a draw. They really surprised us. I don't know, it seems as if they found some new strength or some new form. But for this game now coming up this game week, playing against Asia, I'm expecting that both teams to score. I'm expecting both teams to score here in this game. Both teams to score. And I say both teams to score. And I'm going to say both teams to score and either of them to win. Predicted scoreline for this game, I would go and say 2-1 in favor of Montpellier. Alright, 2-1 in favor of Montpellier. So my predictions for this game is that both teams to score. In terms of a double chance, I'd say Montpellier ISS to win and both teams to score. Predicted scoreline 2-1 in favor of Montpellier. Alright. So our next game here is Strasbourg versus Nantes. Strasbourg versus Nantes. Nantes won their game at home. They usually do well at home. They usually do well at home. That is, sorry. And Strasbourg, the start of the season with preseason, that is, they showed a lot of promise, but they're falling off somewhat for the time being. But in this game here against Nantes at home, I think that it's a possibility that they could win. But also, I wouldn't be surprised if it ends in a draw, and that's the reason why I'm going to go with the draw for this game. I'm going to draw for this game, so I'm expecting this game to end in a draw. Both teams to score, I would say no. Don't expect both teams to score. As a result, that's going to impact my double chance here. So I'm going to say Strasbourg and Nantes to win, and both teams not to score. In terms of a predicted scoreline here, I'm going to go with Nantes 1-0. Alright, going out on a limb there. And if I want to go on the handicap system, you can always go and bet on Nantes to win by a goal and getting $9. That's a huge odd. So going back through my predictions for the Racing Strasbourg game versus Nantes. Racing Strasbourg being at home, I'm expecting this one to end in a draw. If anything comes out of that, is Racing Strasbourg winning. But both teams to score, no. In terms of a double chance, I have Racing Strasbourg or Nantes to win and both teams not to score. My predicted scoreline is Nantes winning by a goal. And also on the handicap system, I have Nantes to win by a goal if you don't want to bet the correct scoreline. So that's my predictions for the Racing Strasbourg game versus Nantes. Alright. And so moving right along to our next game, which is Lens versus Lorient, and Lens currently leading the French Ligue 1 based on they've started the season in really good form, and so therefore I'm expecting them to carry on that form. Lorient haven't been doing too well, very well away from home, and so therefore I don't think that they'll end up beating Lens. The best result that I could get is a draw, but it depends on, based on the form that Lens is and the confidence that I have right now, I am saying that it's going to be very hard for them to beat them. And so both teams to score, I'd say no. In terms of results now, in terms of double chances, that is, I am going to say both teams to score no and under 2.5 goals. And if you want to do another double chance, I'd say Lens or Lorient to win and both teams not to score. So in terms of predicted scoreline, I'd say Lens to win 1-0. Alright. And in terms of in terms of the handicap system, it could go and bet for Lens to win by a goal. Alright, on the handicap system, that is. Getting $2.40. That's a nice odds. Alright, and that's even better than usually selecting Lens to win straight. So my predictions for the Lens versus Lorient game, I'm expecting both teams not to score. In terms of a double chance, I'd say both teams not to score and under 2.5 goals. Also another double chance here, Lens or Lorient to win and both teams not to score. And in terms of my predicted scoreline, I'd say Lens to win 1-0. And in the handicap system, you can also go and select Lens to win by a goal. Those are my predictions for the Lens versus Lorient game. And so we're going to move right along to our next game, which is Lille versus Nice. Nice, after a poor start, they have been doing poorly for the most part, but they are a bit unpredictable in a sense. They're hot and cool. Sometimes they gives you the performance and sometimes they don't. And so therefore, as a resultless game, Lille versus Nice, Lille did well about 2 seasons ago. They're still doing well enough. And as a result for this game, I'm going to say both teams to score, yes. And I'm going to go with a double chance. I'm going to say Lille or Nice to win and both teams to score. Alright, Lille and Nice in their last game. did not score away from home, but I think they're going to score in this game against Lille. And so my predicted scoreline here, if I should go with a winner, I'm going to see Lille to win by 2-1. Alright, on the handicap system, you can always go and bet for Lille to win by a goal. Alright, or either way, you can go for Nice to win by a goal. Alright, in terms of my predictions for this game are they should have both teams scoring, and in terms of a double chance, I'd say Lille or Nice to win and both teams to score. My predicted scoreline is 2-1 in favor of Lille. Alright, moving right along to our next game. This game week is coming to an end quick and fast. So our next game is Marseille versus Clermont. So Marseille versus Clermont. Marseille had a good win the last game away to Nice. They won 3-0. It was a good win for them. And so them being back at home, I'm expecting them to carry on their good form and do well again. And so therefore, as a result, I'm going to have them here winning this game. And in terms of a double chance, I would say Marseille or Clermont to win and both teams to score. Yeah? And my predicted scoreline for this game, I'm going to have this 3-1 in favor of Marseille. In the handicap system, I'll go ahead and bet for Marseille to win by a goal. Alright, in $2 for that. And so therefore, that's how I do it. So my predictions for the Marseille versus Clermont goal, Marseille being at home, I'm expecting Marseille to win. In terms of a double chance, I'd say Marseille or Clermont to win and both teams to score. My predicted scoreline is Marseille to win 3-1. Alright then, you could go ahead and bet for Marseille to win by a goal on the handicap system. Alright, moving right along to our next game, which is, let's see, Stade Rennes versus Brest. Brest had an awful game the last time, everyone losing 7-0 at home to Montpellier, and so therefore they need to pick themselves up, and let's see how things work over them. I'm going to pay Rennes a visit. Rennes usually does well at home, and as a result, I'm going to expect Rennes to keep the victory here. Alright, so Rennes to win, and in terms of a double chance, I'd say Rennes are blessed to win and both teams to score. My predicted scoreline for this game is Rennes to win this one 3-1. Alright, on the handicap system, you can go ahead and bet for Rennes to win by a goal. That's what I do. Alright. My predictions for the Rennes versus Brest game, Rennes being at home, I'm expecting Rennes to win. In terms of a double chance, I'd say Rennes or Brest to win and both teams to score. My predicted scoreline is 3-1 in favor of Rennes. And if you want to go on the handicap system, I would say you go on it and you bet for Rennes to win by a goal, alright, like I have here. And so let's go ahead and jump into our next game, which is Toulouse versus PSG. PSG drew the last game at home against Monaco. Game before that, they won 7-0 away from home. And so it seems as if the away form is coming on, but the home form is yet to be at the level where they want it to be. And so as a result, I'm going to go with what the stats have been showing so far, and I'm going to go with them to win here away from home. So I'm going with PSG to win. Both teams to score, I'd say no. And so if you want to go with another double chance, you can always say Toulouse or PSG to win and both teams not to score. Predicted scoreline here, I would say 3-0 in favor of PSG. At Toulouse, 3-0 or 2-0. If they have a really good day, then they could end up with maybe 5 or 6 goals unanswered. Alright, and so for me here now, these are my predictions for this game. The Toulouse versus PSG game, Toulouse being at home. I'm expecting PSG to squeeze the win here from them. PSG being the better team on paper by a million miles, but we all know how PSG is. Some of the times they tend to don't play according to the form book, and so therefore hence the reason I have them winning here, and I'm expecting both teams not to score. And in terms of a double chance, I'd say PSG to lose to win, and both teams not to score. My predicted scoreline is for PSG to win by 3-0. Those are my predictions for that particular game, and those are all my predictions for the French Ligue 1 for this week. Alright, and for this game week, that is. And so therefore I wish you happy betting, continue to do your best, and as I say, take predictions from different games and different leagues and match them. So that, for example, you can take one from the French league, take one from the English league, one from the German Bundesliga, and so on and so forth, one from the Italian Serie A, and you mix them. You can come up with maybe your best 3, your best 5 from 5 leagues that you monitor and 5 leagues that you usually bet on, or 3 leagues that you usually bet on, or 3 divisions that you usually bet on, or 5 divisions that you usually bet on, and you put those together and then you bet on those. Alright, then don't put all the eggs in one basket, in the sense that all the predictions are coming from one league. Alright, so that's the tip for me. Alright, and thank you very much and have a great rest of the